So I made a video debunking Steven Crowder's video made back in 2010 about net neutrality. The issue has came up even stronger now, and he has made another video about it. We're going to be talking about this one. Check out this clip. We're going to break it down. You guys are going to be seeing Steven Crowder kind of saying that, why, that there are big corporations supporting net neutrality. Here, check it out.
Hear a lot is that we have to have net neutrality because big evil corporations. People think, well, because a big company supports it, it must be bad. But then there's another big company that supports it. And in this case, you have the world's biggest companies in Google and Facebook, who, by the way, unlike the ISPs, they have a long and storied history of dishonest censorship and throttling and content favoritism. Facebook alone, I don't know how many tens of times. And this begs the question, why is Google, YouTube, and Facebook, why are these giant companies so adamant about supporting net neutrality?
So saying that we don't support it because it would help big corporations is really an umbrella, which is wrong. Really what it's going to help is the big internet service providers, the ISPs, because they'll be able to throttle companies and make them pay more money, or they can make it so that they basically favorite, for example, Hulu over Netflix. So you make Netflix slower, but you keep Hulu at the same speed or make it even faster, then giving Hulu the edge, and then which is going to lead to an inevitable cut in Netflix's audience, user base, and purchasers, customers, because who the fuck has the time to wait for buffering times, and there's going to be a lot less people who want to watch it. And just saying, oh, there's big corporations on this side too, that doesn't mean anything. Google, as YouTube, we're going to be affected by that because these internet service providers, if they want to, can throttle Google and make YouTube slower, which would affect you, would affect me, would affect everybody on YouTube here. So that is the problem. Now you're going to be seeing this guy hilariously acknowledge that Netflix was throttled by Comcast, but then somehow say that it doesn't affect them. Here, look at this shit.
Something else crazy. Big companies like Google, they're not really customers of ISPs. They connect directly to the web, directly through internet exchange points. So it doesn't directly affect them. But you'd be
Are you kidding me right now? The dude acknowledges that Netflix was throttled by Comcast, and in parentheses it says companies like, like Comcast, and it says and Google and Netflix in parentheses. So obviously we have literal proof of an occurrence in which Netflix was throttled by Comcast. They said, hey, you need to pay up this money or we're going to make it slower by lowering the peering that happens. So it does affect these big corporations. So he's trying to obfuscate, he's trying to lie, and this is what I don't like about his shit. And they are affected by it. Like we said, Netflix was throttled by Comcast. They had to end up paying money to Comcast saying, hey, stop slowing us down, because they were throttling them. And so it does affect them, you utter and absolute moron. But now what you're going to be seeing is just him starting to talk about a whole nother issue. Check it out.
Hard pressed to find people who would support regulating YouTube, Google, certainly small government libertarians as a telecommunications company under the guidelines that would basically force them to allow all content to be uploaded and distributed equally. But
Alright, so I don't really know what the fuck he's talking about here, but this is currently not the issue that we're talking about net neutrality. The issue is not about companies like Google and YouTube being regulated under Title II. That's not the current issue. You're really obfuscating here. That is another conversation. I've never even heard of this whole argument before, or this occurrence ever. It's just news to me. It's new to me. But what net neutrality currently is about is making it so that internet service providers don't give fast lanes to certain companies and don't throttle companies, which would stymie competition, and it would increase monopolies and monopolization. And as there's already a lack of internet service providers in a lot of areas, and like probably a majority of the areas, it would just be horrific for the industry. Now you're going to be seeing him talking about another thing here. Check it out.
Would support, and this is a big step for a libertarian, small government libertarian like me, under Title II, if we agree to transparency laws, which is a big part of the repealing of net neutrality right now. It's, okay, listen, first off, there are still antitrust laws. There are still monopoly laws. So if you're to throttle, which you're not supposed to do, you have to let your customer base know. Yeah. That's a big part of this legislation. That's a big part of this change, is transparency is being given the priority. Now,
this is really a lame duck kind of solution. again, to something that's not even currently a problem. So he's talking about YouTube, saying YouTube has to disclose that they are basically, saying that conservatives can't upload or whatever, all that type of shit. They just had to disclose it. That's not going to change anything. If YouTube were to do that today, it's not going to die out. YouTube is a monopoly currently, and there's no way, there's no competition against YouTube that would actually be able to take it down. And again, it's a very lame duck solution that really isn't much of a solution. And again, Crowder kind of sort of backing away, obfuscating massively, bringing up whole other issues, just straight up lying, just straight up bullshitting. Again, he claims that Google and Netflix are not directly affected by this. But as we already saw, Netflix was throttled by Comcast, meaning that they are fucking affected by it. So this is some straight BS and some garbage yet again. Support independent progressive media by leaving a subscription down below, leave a like and share the video, help us out on Patreon, or you can donate in other ways. Links are in the description down below. We are fighting Trump tooth and nail, and we will continue to do so with your help.